Coming up on the next episode. Good morning, YouTube. Here on this Wednesday, it is almost 10 o'clock, 9:58 in the a.m. This is going to be my Saturday extra. I think I've already decided that. I wanted to go over this since I made the video yesterday talking about how I've been going over this Pict O Graph radio, trying to sort out the wiring of it and come up with a schematic based on that wiring. So what I started out was at the plug here, and I've been working this way. Now this is wired up pretty much exactly like you see so far. Plug comes in here, goes to the switch goes to ground. Now there is I believe, and I don't know if it's this wire here or a wire up here. I think it's this one here that's missing. But there is a wire that's missing on the ground, I think, from the plug. Or maybe this one is here and the other one's missing, I think. Okay, whatever it is. But anyway, it is easy to see on the ones that are missing. And you'll see these as I point them out. But looking at the radio itself, you can see where the wire went. And so sometimes it's just not there. So that's the way that is. Now, the only thing that's different about this circuit here is this capacitor right here. Now, I believe this capacitor, and I don't know if that's a 0.05 or not. I've left the value in there because I haven't been able to look at it yet. But I think this capacitor here actually goes across the line like this, instead of going in between from the pin 5 of the rectifier. And I think it's the way it works. It's basically across the line cap, but I mean, I think it actually physically is located here across the line. So that's the only difference there. So that's that. If we go on through the rectifier here and we come out on the DC side, if we can look at this first 100 ohm 2 watt resistor. It is there. That is exactly what it is, 100 ohm, and it goes into the intersection here between the pipe filter of the power supply. And this is, I think on the original schematic, this said 1250 or something like that, maybe 1200, but this in fact is a 1000 ohm 1 watt resistor between these two legs of the cap. Now you'll notice there are some missing spaces there that I left open intentionally. Now the reason I've done that is because the wires are not actually connected. Now the wires are there on the electrolytic can cap. I see the wires, and they have never ever been connected. They were just bundled, kind of laying in down next to the chassis, and wrapped around each other, and they're not physically connected. But they are there. I think on the original schematic this was a 50 and a 30. On this particular radio they're both 30s, and that's what they are there. So just wanted to let you know that. Also on this, originally I thought because of the wiring, I traced out the wiring coming from pin 3 of the 50L6 here, and it does go to the audio output transformer, the primary, just like it shows there. And so basically it goes there, and then the way the wire looked, it looked like it went to the chassis ground, which didn't make any sense to me. But it's the way it looked, and originally I had this going to ground. Well, I got to tracing a little closer, and as I want to double check the wiring there, I found that this wire was just laying on the chassis. It wasn't actually connected. And looking a little closer, I found a terminal lug where this obviously had broke off from, and actually goes right here. Now again, this is open because it's actually not physically connected, but I can see that it does connect here, and so that's what I've got it connected, and that's where it should connect. So that's good, and that's what it worked out just right. So that's good. Um, the 50L6, just like I say, is exactly like it is. Now I've got 107 volts there. I mean, been meaning to take that out of there because that I don't know the voltage of this. It probably is close to that. Um, there is a cap here, and that was a .05, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it was .03 or something like that. But anyway, it was a different value than that. But the one that's actually there is a .01. So I've changed the values. So I've tried to change the values of this to match the radio that is in it instead of the original schematic. Again, the same thing with this resistor here going from cathode to ground. This originally was 130, I think, on the original schematic, and this is 150. Now you see I have measures 300 ohms. None of these resistors, I mean none of the resistors I have found have been really even close to their markings. Now I don't know if this is from non-use. Obviously this radio has not seen any use because it's never been wired up. But I'm just guessing. These are old carbon. Most of these are old carbon comp resistors, and I think they've just, I guess, dried out or whatever. But anyway, they're way off on their values. Like I said, this one measures 300, basically twice what it should. And I'm not sure about these, but I know they're off a good bit. Now this next section, like I said, that's the grid, feeds the grid. It does go through a 1.01. Now I didn't do this. Well, yeah, I did over here. Okay, yeah, this goes just like it is, 1.01 from the plate to the grid. That's our coupling cap there. And this circuit here, now on the original schematic, there was just a 220K ohm resistor in it. But this radio has an additional 220K ohm resistor and a cap going to ground between them. Now, Bob seems to think that's a normal thing and it's not a problem. So I'm leaving that like it is because I don't know any better. This has been checked. It is 250 picofarad. It's a mica cap, and it goes to right where it goes there. This has all been checked out. It is originally this said 5 meg on the original schematic, but this is actually marked 4.7, and again, that's not even close. I don't think. I think it's up around 6 meg, I think, is what it is. This, as I meant to say, this measures 600 and something K between these two resistors here. So those are way off. This is volume control coming into this 12SQ7. I'm not sure about this value, a half meg. I don't know if that's exactly what it is or not. But I do know it's wired this way. Now, the wiring is broke between here and here, but you can see very clearly where it goes. And so I've left it open just like that. Same with the ground connection. The ground connection goes from here to here, but it is there's a separate, it's not together, but as you can see, it went there. So I've left it in there just like that, and so that's the way that works. So that's really as far as I've gotten here. Now I did notice there's a tap or short between pin 4 and 5 here on this pin 4 and 5 of this tube, this 12SQ7, and Bob says that's probably done that way on a lot of radios like this. So not a big deal, I guess. So it's not a big deal to me as long as it works. So, but that's actually done on the tube socket itself, so it was pretty much there all along. So, but that's as far as I've actually got as far as tracing this out. Now I've left the other tubes in here and the 2 cans in here that I will be putting in, and so eventually this will all be wired up as well. But this is as far as I've gotten so far, and I wanted to kind of go over with this, show you what I had going on this. Because, I know these things like this is not obvious on what that means when there's wire or space in there, and so that's why I did that. But anyway, it's coming along pretty good, and I'm happy that it's pretty much coming out like the original was. I'm gonna show you the original. Let me get that up real quick. All right, here's the original schematic that I'm working from. I found this on the internet, Google search, obviously. But basically, this is what it looked like originally. Again, there's your 50 and your 30. That's what I told you it was. That was a 1200 watt, 1 watt. Like I said, all this is pretty much like it was. You can see on the other one, it's pretty much like it was. But again, this was a 0.03, just like I said. It was a different value, and that's 130. That was 150 on this one. Originally, it was just a 220K, no cap going to ground, and that's there. This is all pretty much the same, except for there's the spacing. And again, this one does not have the short between 5 and 4, so we don't know for sure about that. But again, it's close enough to where I felt this was a good one to go by because of how close it is, and so that's why I'm using this one. And like I said, I figure this is a pretty good way of looking at it. And so, like I said, this is what I'm going by now. Eventually, if there's some wiring that's wrong, I probably will just go by this one here, because so far this has been really close. And like I said, this is probably the one I'll go by. Now, I don't know what radio this is from or anything like that. I don't know that these. I know. Well, I said I don't know, but I know my cans that I have do not have this here section. I do not believe. So that's going to be a little bit different, obviously. But that shouldn't be a problem, because I think the cans are identical. So this is going to be this one here, just like that one. And so that's the way that'll work. But again, that's I'll look at it real quick. I just kind of wanted to go over this real quick to show you what I was coming up with on this. And like I say, it's coming along pretty good. I'm really happy with the progression of the radio, as far as getting the an idea of how this thing is laid out, and you know what I'm saying. I really think it's gonna work out really well once we get the like I said, I'm going to use the tubes from the Packard Bell, and that will be used to get this one up and running. Now, eventually, I will buy another set of tubes for either the Pict O Graph or the Packard Bell, one of the two, because I do not have the one set. Well, I actually have another set of these tubes, but they're in a radio, and I don't want to take them out of there. There's no sense in doing that. But anyway, that's what we're looking at here. I just kind of want to go over that real quick and let you guys know that I am working on it, and I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time to get things going. I want to get this MFP done, and so I said once that gets done and the bench is straightened out, I can get back to working on the fun stuff, and this is part of the fun stuff. So, all right, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we will see ya.